Alrighty, yep, we are live now for race number 8 of 29 here in the 1990 throwbacks. We're going to go to Martinsville Speedway for the Haynes Activewear 500. We've had quite an incredible start to the season. We've had 7 races, 7 different winners, shockingly, and a very crazy close points battle coming into this race. So we'll see where this takes us. Ought to be a good race here. Martinsville always tends to have some sort of surprise or twist to it, despite having a relatively boring interior. For qualifying, unsurprisingly, one of the masters of Darlington is on the pole, and that is Darrell Waltrip. So unsurprisingly, Darrell Waltrip on the pole here at Martinsville. Kind of surprising. It might be a little surprising in a way that it's not Dale Earnhardt or Tim Richmond, the two people that have just dominated this course over the past 4 or 5 years. Maybe that era of domination is coming to an end here in the throwbacks. But anyways, your top 10 starting order. We've got Darrell Waltrip on the pole, Rusty Wallace in second, points leader Jeff Bodine in third, Alan Kowicki fourth, Phil Elliott in fifth, Tim Richmond will be in sixth, Ricky Rudd seventh, Mark Martin in eighth, Terry Labonte ninth, and Kyle Petty is going to round out the top 10. Darrell Waltrip. So basically every single person up here has already won a race, pretty much. Bodine hasn't. That's about it. Here's the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The command's been given. The cars are firing up. Pace car is driving off. The cars are not. I hate when that happens. Pace car fires up, and the pace car drives off, and then the cars don't drive off.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Try that again. The pace car drives off. Everyone else seems to get off just fine. Pace car dives down into pit road. Cars come off of turn 4, and we've got a green flag here for Martinsville. The issue of the start of the Haynes Activewear 500. As we see the cars zooming out of corner number 2 and into corner number 3. Out of turn 4, it looks like Waltrip's going to pick up lap number 1. Bodine is going to try to take the second position away from Rusty Wallace, and it looks like he will. So Bodine will take second, but Wallace pulls the crossover move. Here comes Wallace down to the inside. Wallace now down to the inside of Bodine, and Wallace has taken the second position away, but Bodine is trying to hang in the outside lane. Does not look like it's going to work, so Bodine goes back to third. And Bodine trying to pull a crossover move, and it looks like he got the bumper to him. So a great battle for second here to start off. Bodine is trying to get back around Wallace. Meanwhile, Darrell Waltrip's just loving this in his rearview mirror. Waltrip is checking out on the entire field. Everyone else has pretty much gone single file to this point. But a really good battle for superiority for the second position. Bodine still hasn't quite cleared the 27 yet. Looks like he might be able to do it here coming off of turn 2. Not enough. Wow, look at the strong run that Wallace got there in the outside lane. Bodine trying to rotate through the center of the corner better, but Wallace is really getting that outside lane run, and he's doing it with precision. In fact, I think it might be the case that Wallace might actually be able to get this position by using the outside lane as his passing lane. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but I guess I've seen crazier things here at Martinsville. But I might have him here. Not enough. Man, Wallace just rocketed by on the outside lane there. Now I think Bodine's cleared him. Bodine has cleared Wallace, maybe? No, not quite. Oh, Wallace got back up to the 11, and now he's going to try to clear him going into 3. No dice. Still side by side for second. It's always nice that we get treated to a really good race here early on. Alan Kowicki now trying to get around Bill Elliott. That will be for the 4th position. Jeff Bodine trying desperately everything that he can to try to shake off this 27 car. It's just not working. Rusty Wallace is just too strong. Kowicki has gotten the 4th position. Remember, Kowicki got his first career win at this track. It looks like Bodine's finally gotten around the 27. And now Bodine trying to desperately block Wallace there going through turns 3 and 4. I think he's finally done it. Has Bodine finally won? No! Wallace puts the bumper to the Bodine in turns 1 and 2. And now Wallace has the position. Is that going to be the be-all and end-all, though? Now Wallace is now starting to just take off. Very unsympathetically, just driving away from the 11 car now. So I think it's very clear that Rusty Wallace has the faster car. Meanwhile, after all of that stuff's been going on, Darrell Waltrip has just driven off from everybody to the tune of a 3-second advantage here on lap number 13. So Darrell Waltrip has got to be loving this battle going on behind him for the 2nd position. Well, the battle's not for 2nd anymore. The battle might be tuning into 3rd. Alan Kowicki is still right there on the 11 car. Kowicki trying to catch the 11. Can't quite get it done. You can see here pending for the top 10. Earnhardt has sneaked his way in, unsurprisingly. Here's Trevor Labonte. He's been searching for a way around Mark Martin for a little bit now from what I've been seeing, but nobody in this line of traffic has really been able to catch and pass anyone. It's pretty much this 2 or 3 car length advantage, pretty much constant all the way through this pack here. Nobody's really getting an advantage on one another. And this is usually how it goes for a little bit, until the leader starts catching lap traffic, which usually happens at around lap 25, lap 30, something like that. It should be noted that Rusty Wallace is actually running down the leader of Darrell Waltrip, so we'll see if Wallace is going to be able to run down the 17. Hey, he's got the fastest lap on the track. So if that means anything to you, Rusty Wallace, no, he's going for back-to-back victories. And it looks like, oh wow, we're catching lap traffic right now, I guess. Lap 18. The leaders are very, very fast today. No doubt about that. Harry Gant continues to struggle at short tracks. And there goes the 17. He's just going around everyone now. Well, here comes Whoa! Wallace just jacks the 33 going into turn 1. And you can see considerable damage now on the nose of the 27 car. You'll see it here. there is definitely an indent. He really got into the back of the 33 hard going into turn number 1 there. And he might want to try to use the brake pedal next time he tries to get around lap traffic. I think he just forgot how much faster he is than everyone else. But then again, you would think by now Wallace would have gotten a pretty good handle of running up front with everyone else, considering this is now his 3rd year in championship contention. Your leader continues to be Darrell Waltrip, and although that lead is dwindling a little bit by a little bit every single lap, Wallace is doing a really good job keeping a stranglehold of the lead here. Meanwhile, going back, Jeff Bodine slips up the track. Here comes Alan Kowicki. I don't think he's going to have the momentum. He will not, but Bodine misses the corner, and now Kowicki's going to try to take advantage. Remember, Kowicki's first career win came here at Martinsville all the way back in 1987, taking advantage of a broken down Tim Richmond to come from behind and win the race. Even though Tim Richmond went down a cylinder with 15 laps to go, Alan Kowicki had to make up 9.5 seconds on the leader in order to win. He did so in dramatic fashion. 2 weeks later, he would end up winning the Coca-Cola 600 as well, his only multi-win season to date. Of course, he went winless last year, but he does have a win this year, and he might be looking at some more wins coming up soon. Kowicki has really looked strong here early on. Someone that has not looked strong early on, and this is seemingly pretty typical now what to expect for Jeff Bodine. He's in 4th here. This kind of scares me actually, because Bodine has had a habit of being in middling futility to start the race. He'd be back in 13th, 14th, 15th, just doing general underachieving. And then this team would just throw some magic pixie dust on it, and all of a sudden they'd appear in 5th. And that's where they'd end up finishing. So I don't know if Bodine is currently in 4th, and they use that magic pixie dust today. We could be looking at Jeff Bodine winning this race. And Jeff Purvis almost got knocked into the inside wall there by Ricky Rudd. A close call. And it just shows that there's not a lot of room for lap traffic to try to get around here. It's a very tight groove, a very tight track. Another battle for position here. Dale Earnhardt trying to find a way around Terry Labonte. That will be for 9th. Jimmy Horton trying to get out of everyone's way here. Meanwhile, somebody that has dominated Richmond, not Richmond, somebody that's dominated Martinsville going back to 1986 really, is Tim Richmond. He won one of the 1987 races, would have won both of them if it wasn't for his mechanical failure. And if I remember correctly, also won both 1988 races as well. Wasn't so lucky last year, and now this year it seems like, yeah, once again, just doesn't look as fast as he used to be at this track. Is this maybe coming to the end of the era of Richmond? And this may be the case. It might be going back to the era of Darrell Waltrip, as Waltrip, again, he jumped out to a 2.5 second lead early on, almost 3 second lead. That lead has come down a little bit. It's just underneath 2 seconds now as he tries to find a way around Larry Pearson in the 2 car here. Darrell Waltrip has been very successful early on in this race, has led all 35 laps to this point. Ooh, using a little contact there, trying to get around lap traffic. Of course, nobody ever wants to go a lap down. It's a huge disadvantage in NASCAR. it should be noted here that this might be one of the most top-heavy races ever. We've already got a lead of up over 10 seconds here on lap number 35. Wallace and Waltrip have some astoundingly fast cars compared to everyone else here today. Now, that's really not something that we're used to seeing here at Martinsville. Usually it's either everyone competes like crazy for the lead or one person just leads all 125 laps and just transcends everybody. It looks like today we've got two cars that are transcending everybody instead of just one. Kind of a new thing, we're not used to seeing it. Bierschwil got into the back of the 17 there, but that's only going to be a minor issue. Wallace is pulled into Waltrip to the tune of 1.3 seconds, but Waltrip also has not gotten around this lap trap. Wallace, rather, has not gotten around this lap traffic yet. So that margin is going to go back up while Wallace tries to navigate the two lapped cars. Meanwhile, it looks like Alan Kowicki, he's got himself an open patch of racetrack, and that's always nice to see at a short track. It lets you relax, take a few breaths, turn in some nice lap times, get some confidence back up, as Alan Kowicki is going to try to gain a little bit on the leader here. He's now down to about 5 seconds, which isn't that bad considering how much faster the 17 has been. And man, the 17 in lap traffic is going just as fast as Alan Kowicki with nobody around him. So Darrell Waltrip and Rusty Walls, for that matter, both have very, very fast cars compared to everyone else. Meanwhile, Jeff Bodine is kind of stuck here. He's trying to find his way around and underachieving Ken Schrader, who has really had a rough start to the season. Nowhere near as successful as his 1989 campaign. We'll see if that continues to be the case. And here's Huck Strickland, who, well, is just really continuing to race like a rookie. A lot of people have high hopes for Huck Strickland, part of the Alabama gang, very close friends with the Allisons. However, it just isn't, I just don't see the talent coming to fruition like, let's say, a Davey Allison, who right now also is not doing well. There are some races that Davey Allison, you'll look at him, he's like, wow, this guy's going to be a star someday. And then you look at days like today where Davey Allison is running in the 16th position, we're like, this guy is going to be one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history? Come on. Well, that's what we're looking at right now. There's just so many flashes of brilliance with Davey Allison, and then he just kind of throws it away. Meanwhile, going up to the front, it looked like that Rusty Wallace was going to get a really good sustained run on Darrell Waltrip, and now you could just see how difficult the lap traffic can be to manage at this track, as Wallace has caught Waltrip, but the lap traffic just basically denied him, and it looks like Mickey Gibbs is all sorts of beat up, as we'll try to figure out exactly what happened to Mickey Gibbs. And it looks like it's going to be unrelated to any of the leaders. So we'll probably see here coming down the front straightaway. I'm going to guess that Brett Bodine turns him into the inside wall. And it looks like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Ooh, Neil Bonnet barely missing that. Wow. Bonnet, he's trying to capitalize off of a third place finish last week at North Wilkesboro by running 17th. Good job. And that's about all you can say is good job. Darrell Waltrip continues to be really sneaky in the way that he gets around lap traffic. I think this is really the only way he's going to stay in front of the 27, is if he's able to navigate the lap traffic better than Wallace is able to do. And of course, Waltrip, he's been doing this forever. He's looking for career win number 75 in his career. Not very many drivers have been able to get that many wins. But Waltrip is looking like he's going to be able to do it. Boy, if Waltrip doesn't win this race, he's going to be finishing second. I mean, there's really no... It's either or in this case. Waltrip and Wallace are just so much faster than everyone else in the field right now. It's just ridiculous. Like, how do you pull out to an 11-second lead over Dale Earnhardt? I just don't know how you do that, but that's what's been happening. Waltrip has not had a ton of success ever since coming over to Hendrick Motorsports. Didn't really have a good 1987 campaign. Did not have a good 1987 campaign at all. Got no wins. It took him all the way till the Fall Talladega race of 1988 to get a win for Hendrick Motorsports. And in 1989, he got a total of 1 victory all of last season by taking a win at Bristol. And now, well, he started this season with a win at Daytona, his first ever Daytona 500 win. And now he's going to try to win get his first multi-win season since 1986. I can't believe I'm saying that about Darrell Waltrip. His first multi-win season since I can't believe I'm saying that. But that's the case. Waltrip's been really struggling ever since the swap over to Hendrick Motorsports, but now it seems like he's starting to get back into a rhythm. He seems to be doing really well now. That was not doing really well, and now Wallace might be able to take advantage. Not quite. Waltrip still has that run off the outside lane, and I think Waltrip is just marginally faster than the 27 right now. Trying to the inside of Bonnet. Bonnet is not playing ball with his former teammate right now. Bonnet is not wanting to go a lap down. More importantly, he wants to get around that 28 car. And it looks like Waltrip's finally going to get the better of him here. Waltrip diving down to the inside here in turn 1. He's going to get around Bonnet. And in doing so, he's going to be able to put at least a lap car between him and Wallace. Maybe not. Wallace is still going to be right there. And man, Waltrip and Wallace, they are out to a 13-second lead over Dale Earnhardt. That is just incredible. You're watching the battle for the lead right now here at Martinsville. Darrell Waltrip, the 17, that's the bright orange car. He's your leader. You've also got the black and gold number 27 car. That's Rusty Wallace. He's in second place looking for the lead. Yeah, right now the Tide Ride is doing excellently, staying out in front here. I said that MGB car though for the 27, that looks really slick. Oh, here we go. Here comes Wallace down to the inside. I think he got the bumper to Waltrip there. Side by side going into turn 1. I think Wallace is going to have the position, but Waltrip's going to fight very hard on the outside lane. And he's just not going to get it. Wallace just had much better brakes in the 17 there. Wallace to the lead. So Rusty Wallace making the first lead change of the day. We'll see if Wallace is able to maintain the lead now. If you can maintain the lead against Darrell Waltrip, you know you're doing something right. Waltrip's just having a really hard time getting around the 21 and 28 here, and I think that's really what's hamstringing him right now. Hopefully the fallback to second will maybe start giving him an incentive to start really getting around these cars. The pressure's not going to be as much. Wallace now trying to get around Dale Jarrett and Brett Bodine. Waltrip pulls back in behind Brett Bodine. I'm not sure why he did that. You see Waltrip pushed up the track, and that's exactly why I was questioning that. So now we're going to try to get around Jarrett. You can't make it 3 wide here without causing some kind of accident. That's not what's going on here, though. Now I think Waltrip is going to put it into panic mode here as he's going to try to really run down that 27 machine. I just don't think it's going to happen now. Meanwhile, it should be noted, Kawicki is actually lurking here in the 3rd position and is lurking very closely. He's been very, very, very slowly closing in on the 2 leaders here. He was 5 seconds down, and then he was 4 seconds down. Now he's only 3.5 seconds out of the lead. So Kawicki's been just very slowly inching his way towards the front. We'll see if that gets Kawicki anywhere. Meanwhile, 4th, 5th, and 6th are all right here together. We should also, I was going to say we should also lump in 7th, but just keep doing what you're doing, Martin. You're fine. He was able to get around Tim Richmond, who's actually fallen to 8th now. And Tim Richmond's had his weakest start of the season since coming over to Hendrick Motorsports. So you gotta think that Richmond's gonna get really hungry here really soon. There he goes, making it 3 wide at this track. Not necessarily recommended, but it can happen. Oh boy, man, you got people rubbing up against each other all the way up and down the track. It looks like pit stops are starting. Whoa! All the way in the grass goes Spencer and... All the way in the grass goes Spencer and Richmond as they're going to get around Martin. That was insane. Yeah, there they go. Look at this. Well, that's one way to try to defend your position, I guess. Not sure why you try to do that, but that's exactly what just happened. Meanwhile, it looks like Rusty Wallace has pitted, as well as Darrell Waltrip, but Waltrip had an abysmal pit stop, and that's actually going to put him behind Kawicki. So now the question is, where is the 25, which I'm just going to pull up the drop down and find him. So Tim Richmond now coming down pit road. There's Sir Labonte, there's Ricky Rudd. Whatever. So there goes Darrell Waltrip. He's going to take the 2nd position, what I would assume to be the 2nd position, back from Kawicki. And oh, Allison and Kawicki getting together there. It's really difficult to merge out of pit road here. Lots of traffic, not a lot of room. So I think that's going to definitely put your leader as the 27, and yes it does. The 27 by 3 seconds is your leader. Bodine 4th, Elliott 5th, Rudd 6th, Tim Richmond 7th, Dale Earnhardt 8th, Mark Martin 9th, and Terry Labonte is going to run out the top 10. So Sterling Marlin is in 11th. And Marlin driving Rusty Wallace all the way down to the curbing there. Man, it's just what it keeps on going down to. It's just what it keeps on coming down to, and that's just the case right there. Here, Wallace is just trying to find any way he can around Terry Labonte now. He'll have everyone up to 9th, 1 lap down, which was usually a very big accomplishment at any track if you can start lapping inside the top 10, but it's usually pretty commonplace here at Martinsville to see people get lapped up into the top 10. But the thing is that usually doesn't happen until around lap 100, maybe lap 110. Here it's about to happen on lap 81 or 82, or whenever Wallace finally decides to get around Terry Labonte. Meanwhile, Wal Tripp is trying to get around some lap traffic here in the form of Hutch Strickland and Morgan Shepherd. Looks like Strickland's going to be nice and let Wal Tripp go. Meanwhile, Wal Tripp is going to continue to try to run this 15 car down if he can. No dice so far, but he is running down the leader, Darrell Waltrip. Darrell Waltrip is running down the leader, Rusty Wallace, rather. Oh boy, it's all full of commentary botches today. Just not on my game. A little bit less than 40 laps to go here from Martinsville. Rusty Wallace is your leader. He only got the lead not too long ago. It happened about 15, 20 laps ago that Rusty Wallace took the lead. And then pit stops happened, and that's why he's out to a 2-second advantage. But that advantage is coming down. Wallace is not necessarily doing his best driving here up at the front. Both Kawicki and Waltrip are coming. That should definitely be known. Both Kawicki and Waltrip are coming. So we'll see if either of these guys are going to be able to take the checkered flag today, or if Wallace is just going to continue to pull away. Right now, Wallace is just having a grand old time trying to figure out what to do with Terry Labonte. Labonte is doing him absolutely no favors whatsoever. And finally, Labonte makes a mistake and gives way there through turns 3 and 4. And Labonte just shoved Wallace up the track trying to keep his lap. So Labonte is just hoping for a caution. Yeah, Labonte's hoping for a caution. Races usually, more often than not, go caution-free here, but we have had some Wreckfest Martinsville races. They have happened before. So, seeing a caution here, if we have a caution with, let's say, lap number 95, it's likely that we'll have more cautions after that. So, Rusty Wallace is really struggling to put Terry Labonte a lap down. That struggle is going to open the door for Alan Kawicki, who is coming, and Darrell Waltrip, who's also coming with Kawicki. So, man, it's time to figure out what to do with this 5 car. And I think Terry Labonte's having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with Hillen, as Hillen's not giving Labonte any room either. The caution flag is out. Did I just jinx everything? Did I just jinx everything? Caution flag is out. Race back to the line. There's the race back to the line. And Jimmy Horton doesn't know how to slow down for a yellow flag. As I stated, stuff like this has happened before. Is it Jimmy Means? I think it's Jimmy Means. Oh, Waltrip gets in, not Jimmy Means, Jeff Purvis rather. Waltrip gets into Jeff Purvis, and Purvis ends up, wow. Morgan Shepherd driving away. It looks like he is okay. But man, that was a hard hit by Morgan Shepherd. Watch this again. Oh man. That is insane. I think we're gonna watch this from a different angle here. Here we go. Here goes 52. Pinballs over the track. Wow. That was a crazy hard hit for both Morgan Shepherd and Jeff Purvis. So now we're going to get a restart. That's just insane. Now we can think back to the fall Martinsville race of last year, where through a bunch of restarts it looked like Mark Martin was going to win here at Martinsville, but then through a bunch of restarts, slowly but surely, the person that ended up being the strongest was the 26 of Ricky Rudd, and he ended up winning. So that'll make it 30 laps to go here at Martinsville. And it looks like we're not restarting yet, so 2 more laps of yellow flags should be in order. The only drivers that are in the top 10 on the lead lap are in the top 10. So Rusty Wallace is your leader. Alan Kowicki has moved into second after just fighting and clawing for every single spot that he can get. Darrell Waltrip is in third after dominating the first half of this race. Jeff Bodine is just sneakily in the 4th position. He really hasn't done much. You've got Bill Elliott in 5th, Ricky Rudd in 6th, Dale Earnhardt solidly in the 7th position, Tim Richmond in 8th, Mark Martin, the person that dominated Martinsville last time, he's in 9th, and Terry Labonte is in the 10th position. Sterling Marlin is the first car 1 lap down on the inside lane there. Here comes everyone else to line up on the outside lane. In all honesty, the winner of this race is going to be decided by if there's any more cautions and if the 27 gets a good start or not. If the 27 gets a really good start, this race may be over. And the 27 got the start he needed. Oh, he got the start he needed. He completely faked out Sterling Marlin on the inside lane, and he is going to pull away. Meanwhile, Darrell Waltrip, he's slacked back a little bit, just trying to make sure he gets to the bottom lane. Hutch Strickland off the inside wall. 3 wide. Not a lot of room to roam here. It looks like they're going to get away with it. Meanwhile, Wallace is taking off on everybody. And the caution flag is back out. Mickey Gibbs this time is the victim. Let's see what happened. I'm gonna guess he ends up hitting the... Yeah, he nicked the barrels there, and he kind of slides nicely into Neil Bonnet's pit stall. Unfortunately, I don't think that Bonnet's crew is going to be able to operate on the L1, and he's probably going to have to go behind the wall. That was interesting, though. He slid very nicely into Bonnet's pit stall there. I wonder if they could have serviced him. I don't know. Probably not. So looking at the results that time, it looks like the caution shook up the bottom half of the top five. The top half of the top five remains the same. It's still Wallace, Kawicki, Waltrip, Bodine, Elliott. Of the bottom half, we now have Earnhardt sliding up into 6th, Rudd going down to 7th, Richmond in 8th, Martin in 9th, and Labonte in 10th. So we should be getting going with either 20 or 21 laps to go here at Martinsville. You are watching the Panel Sweatshirts 500 here from Martinsville. Your leader is Rusty Wallace, and he has led for a little bit now, since before the one and only pit stop that drivers are going to do in this race. And it looks like we are going to be getting off with 20 laps to go. And it's going to be another double file restart. So that's important to understand. It's going to be another double file restart. And chaos is just going to continue to happen here until we get to the single file restarts, which they're still not guaranteed to get rid of chaos. So here we go with 21 laps to go on the board. The only drivers that are on the lead lap are the drivers that are in the top 10. So they're the only drivers that will be lining up on the right. 32 cars out of the 35 that have started are still on the racetrack. Unsurprisingly, Jeff Purvis, Morgan Shepherd, and Mickey Gibbs are all out. Pace car dives down into pit road. Green flag is out. Wallace did not get the jump that he needed this time. Now things get 3 wide. Davey Allison desperate trying to get his lap back along with Sterling Marlin, but I think that advantage, the only person that may have advantaged is Rusty Wallace. They're still going 3 wide. Wallace still hasn't cleared anybody. Wallace is forced up and out of the concrete grip area. I think Sterling Marlin's going to have to fall back here sooner or later, but it just hasn't happened yet. And are they getting into Wallace? And there goes Marlin. He falls back. Waltrip will take the 2nd position. And Waltrip is trying to take the 2nd position anyways. Wallace still cannot find the inside lane. There goes Wallace underneath for 3 wide. Wallace finally gets down to the bottom. But at what cost? Here comes Darrell Waltrip. He just took the second position away. Can he run up and try to grab the lead away from the 27? And we knocked a pretty considerable chunk off the lap timer here. So if Waltrip can make a move, he can really get away. Here comes Waltrip. He's starting to make a move on the 27. Waltrip is there. He's coming along. Waltrip's really trying to get up to the 27. It just really isn't working for him. Wallace slips up the track. Waltrip gets a nudge. He nudged him there in turn 2. Will it be enough? He can't get the run off the straightaway. But he's close enough to put the bumper to the 27 if need be. Wallace is able to get away off of turn 4 though. Close but no cigar. Meanwhile, Alan Kowicki is still right there for the 3rd position. Do not count him out of this race at all. Meanwhile, if a yellow flag drops, Davey Allison and Brett Bodine, they may be in contention for a top 10. Tim Richmond falls all the way back to 10th. Earnhardt's gotten into 5th, and Jeff Bodine is in free fall going down to the 7th position. Rusty Wallace is trying to win back-to-back races. Something that I don't think he's ever done. You don't see a lot of drivers getting back-to-back wins, but I don't know. Will he be able to hold off Waltrip? Man, he's really attacking strong. The 3-time champion throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Wallace, but Wallace is holding firm here with 11 laps to go. This is just so close. Wallace slips up the track. Now Kowicki tries to take advantage. One mistake, and that's all it took. Just the one mistake, and now Waltrip has to try to hold off Kowicki behind him. And I don't think he's going to be able to because he had a really bad run off of turn 4. Here comes Kowicki down to the inside. And there goes all hopes of Darrell Waltrip winning this race. Now, how quickly that the 7's able to get around the 17 will determine what the probability of the 7 winning this race is going to be. And the 17 goes up the track again. Yeah, that really murders any hope of Darrell Waltrip winning this race. So now it's down between Kowicki and Wallace. Who's going to win between these two? Bodine way up the track. That's going to benefit the 27, I think. Maybe not. 27 trying to get around. Now Kowicki way up the track. Whoa! The 75 and the 27 get together. 27 is going to have to go way wide as Bodine pushes him way up the track. Here comes Kowicki to the bottom. Is that going to be enough? No. Now Kowicki gets to the bumper of the 27. He shoots way up the track. Here comes Kowicki for the lead. Alan Kowicki has taken the lead. Bump and run in turn number 3 to take the lead. 6 laps to go. This race isn't over yet. Wallace is likely going to be looking for payback. Oh, no doubt. That was a blatant bump and run there by Kowicki. Really using the bumper there to try to get around the 27. 5 laps to go. Can Kowicki try to hold off Rusty Wallace? Kowicki looking for his 2nd victory of the season. In the midst of all of this, Bill Elliott is starting to run these guys down, but he doesn't have enough time to be in the factor of any of this. If a caution flag comes out now, this race is going to be determined by who gets to the line first. Kowicki did not get a good run there through turns 1 and 2, but he pulled away a little bit down the straightaway. Now Wallace goes up the track, and I think that's going to ruin any hope for either Wallace or Waltrip to win this race. Kowicki should be able to coast it on home, but Kowicki goes up the track. 2.5 laps to go. Kowicki, I think he's trying to find a way around Brett Bodine, but I don't think he can get it done. 2 laps to go. The laps are short, but I think Kowicki's got this. Now, here comes the 27. Nope. Kowicki burned him down the straightaway. Bodine slips up the track. Is that going to kill the 7's momentum, though? White flag. We'll find out. I think this is going to benefit Kowicki in a big way. Kowicki's going to get into turn 3 here. He used the bumper to do it. In order to win, Alan Kowicki will win the Haynes Activewear 500. Great finish. It's a classic short track finish right there. Kowicki using the bumpers with 6 laps to go to take the victory here at Martinsville. Oh, we'll see here. There goes the 75. So a full list of results as we'll see exactly what happened here. Ignored the retired because they're not, with the exception of these 3 guys down here. So that is the finishing order here for the Haynes Activewear 500 rather. And now here's the point standings after that race. Rusty Wallace has now taken the points lead, and Kowicki is remarkably in the 2nd position. Bill Elliott in 3rd, Jeff Bodine 4th, Terry Labonte in 5th, Gerald Waltrip lingering in 6th, and Tim Richmond in 7th. Man, it is just a really big battle between these 6 or 7 drivers right here. It is still very, very close early on here, but we finally have our first repeat winner in Alan Kowicki, and he has not led a lot of laps to do it. Anyways, our next race is going to be the 2nd of the 4 Winston Million races. It's the fastest race on the schedule, the Winston 500 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Will Darrell Waltrip be able to collect a $100,000 bonus and be able to go to Charlotte or Darlington to collect the first ever Winston Million prize? We'll see you then.